When I was 18, I started my first company. I built it, and then finding out that maybe there's not so much demand for it. So I grew from impulsive entrepreneur to more analytical type of entrepreneur. Every week I have a new idea, but now I tend to validate them more. So I have more things to consider.
Can you share a moment where you consciously chose integrity over profit and what impact that had for you?
There was an unreliable business partner. I could have chosen the path to follow his pathway and acting the same and trying to cover things, to hide things in order to keep making a good amount of money. But I chose to speak up against the things that were not right in my point of view. It's not easy to make such a decision, but it felt really right.
What is a belief you hold about business or investing that most people might disagree with you, but you have found to be true in your own life? Hey Mark!
Simon, hi.
Welcome!
How are you
Nice
doing?
to meet you.
Thanks.
Well, it was a nice surprise that you invited me to come to the Amsterdam's forest.
Nice weather.
Yes, so let's go for a walk and let's talk.
Sure, yeah, nice.
I have some questions for you.
All right.
Is that all right?
I'm unprepared, but it's totally fine.
Okay. Well, Mark, the people listening don't know much about you, but I do, at least a little bit. So I wanted to ask you some things, and if it's okay with you, because that's my style, I like to dive straight into it.
Yeah, I like that too.
So Mark, you lost your biggest client in 2011. That was a tough moment looking back.
Yeah.
How did you keep going during that period, and what helped you to stay resilient?
I would say passion is the best driver to keep going. If you like what you're doing, then you can overcome these disappointments. And I can say truly that I like what I'm doing. It's not one thing, it's several things, but when I do something, I do it with passion, and that keeps you going.
Okay, but how did you feel at that time? I know I'm bringing you back straight into a difficult time of your life. It's nobody wants to lose their biggest client. Let's be clear about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when you heard about the news, what did you feel at that time?
Of course, you feel not that good. Yeah, it's a big disappointment, and it's not a matter of one day to overcome it. But looking back, I think these moments make you stronger. So I'm grateful in a way to have experienced these kind of things on a young age. 2011, I was still 28.
Yeah.
28. So that was a good moment to experience such a disappointment, because then you have your whole life in front to learn from it and to prevent it from happening again.
Okay, and just for people to understand, you were a fund manager, right? You had your
Correct.
own fund.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Which is already a big accomplishment at your 20s.
Yeah, I started quite young. I already did my first investments when I was 13, so still in high school in the Netherlands. So yeah, everything went kind of fast when I started studying.
Oh yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, and And then when you were 13, what made you kind of invest in investments? For the people wondering why we switched, I have my mic on the right side and Mark on the left side, so you can hear us better.
Yeah.
So when you were 13, you were already investing. I don't think everybody in your lower school was investing, right?
No, everybody was playing soccer and
Yeah.
doing other things. I was doing that as well, but I was always intrigued with numbers.
Yeah.
So it started first with music hit lists and then soccer rankings that always intrigued me.
Yeah.
And that went straight into financials, stock markets. So yeah, I started quite young, and I like to learn things from experiencing it,
Yeah.
not by the book always, just doing it, finding out how it works. So that helped me, yeah, to build a hedge fund when I was 23.
That's really impressive, and I'm going to dive into the next question, which is also a bit about resilience and difficult moment in your life. In 2018, you mentioned that you had a passing away of a business partner, a key business partner.
Mm-hmm.
How did that change the way you approach risk and relationships in business today?
That's a difficult question because that's something that's so sudden and yeah, you cannot really anticipate on it. It was, yeah, actually very sudden thing happening. He was not ill or something, so
Yeah.
he just passed away from one day in the other. And well, yeah, it tells you something about risk mitigation, of course. It's more about not depending on one person, and that's the same with a big client.
Yeah.
If you are a good risk manager, you make sure you're not totally depending on this one client or one investor or partner.
Yeah, but it's indeed it's something that comes back. But you know, how did you feel then when you heard the news? Because obviously that person must have not been that old.
Yeah, it was a complete shock for sure. It was just 2 days after Christmas,
Wow.
so it's also a season where your mind is about festivities, and then that happened. His son called me, which was also a very strange thing to experience. So that was maybe a bigger shock than just losing a client or these smaller things in business. This was also something personal, and I had a bond with this person.
So that's very intense, and thank you for allowing me to talk about these two things.
Yeah, no problem.
Don't worry, I'm not only going to talk about these things, but I do have some more questions about your career and some personal reflection on that. You also mentioned that you experienced something else with a business partner, a betrayal, who wasn't acting in good faith. What did that teach you about trust, and how do you now decide who do you want to work with?
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned, because trust was a very important topic in the later part of my business career. First you start with an idea and you build something and you grow and you don't look at risks or whatever, and then you meet the wrong people, and then you start to look at those kind of very important aspects of doing business, of course. Sorry, what was the question?
Because there was a business partner that didn't act in good faith, and who broke the trust.
Yeah.
So how do you deal with that today in business? How do you make sure that doesn't happen again?
Yeah, well, that was the funny thing. With this business partner who passed away, I tried to build a startup that's about measuring trust. It was a sidestep from my financial career, but in the finance industry, you meet so many bad people, you know, who are not faithful or only after the money. So I was trying to find a system, an algorithm to measure trust, which is very, very difficult in the end.
The first AI company, by the way.
Yeah, it was algorithmic, not really AI yet, but we include some interesting algorithms. So that's I'm an analyst, so I always try to use numbers and data to make decisions. But I think we trust its intuition. You cannot always measure it.
Yeah.
So the more experienced you become in life, the more easy it is to judge people if you don't know them that much yet.
So if I may summarize that, initially you wanted to put it in the data, like you wanted to quantify it. Trust is certain data points, but over life you have experienced that it's also a lot about your gut feeling and how you feel about the people you work with.
Yeah, and I think that really relates to investing in general.
Yeah.
With investments, you cannot only trust your data, because data can also be misinterpreted. So it's always a combination between intuition, experience, and data. I really still believe in data to make a decision, but not only.
Yeah, no, I really like some things you said, and I fully agree with them. Unfortunately, we have a lot of bad players in this industry, and this just seems to be never an end of a stop of them coming in as well.
Exactly,
But at the same time, I think if you look at other industries, let's say hospitality or other industries, they're going through the same process.
Yeah. Yeah, it's more about people than the business itself, I guess. But the finance industry in general, because it's so much about money, not so much about emotions usually. It attracts more people who are after making money quickly.
True. And there is a lot of emotions in investments.
It is, yeah.
Right? But you know.
That's also true. Yes, that's true.
So you said also money should not be the main decision factor. Can you share a moment where you consciously chose integrity over profit, and what impact that had for you or for somebody else?
Yes, there are several moments, but in the part where there was an unreliable business partner, I could have chosen the path to follow his pathway and acting the same and trying to cover things, to hide things in order to keep making a good amount of money.
Yeah.
But I chose to go the opposite direction and speak up against the things that were not right in my point of view. And that was not for my best intention, because there was a business breakup and a lot of discussion afterwards. And it also was about my own reputation, because I was part of this team. So it's not easy to make such a decision, but it felt really right to do it.
That
anyway.
was not Mark. You felt like, this is not me. I cannot go on doing this, or I cannot be part of this. And then you really maybe came even closer to yourself.
Yeah, exactly. All these things help you to know yourself better. For sure.
I'm having 1.5 years sessions with a coach, and one day he asked me, "What are your values?" And I'm like, let me make 10 of them. But after 4 or 5, I'm like, okay, what more is on my list? And I didn't want to just write up whatever I felt like. But then some things happened in the company and with other people, and I'm like, I cannot be part of this. And then I'm like, why can I not be part of it? Something in me cannot just like feel good about doing it. And then I found out that that's because of a value, a moral you have, a certain integrity you have. That doesn't allow you to just not feel anything while doing something that is not good. and some people don't have that, and when you feel that, that's actually very, very good, very, very pleasant.
I completely agree with you, but I also realize it's also about how you're raised and your environment.
Yes.
It's not only always the decisions you make yourself, because
Yeah.
people are very ambiguous in that sense. You're raised with some kind of values,
Yeah.
and it's also what you can lose in your personal environment. How
Yeah.
will your friends react if you do something that's very bad, or your family?
Yeah.
Of course, I also take that in account when I do something. It's my core value for sure, but it's affected as well by the judgment of your environment.
Good. And another question I want to ask you is, many people struggle to separate their identity from their work.
Mm-hmm.
How do you personally maintain a healthy boundary between your business success and struggles and your self-worth?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, well, the first thing I already mentioned, I think it's about making fun while doing business.
Yeah.
That keeps it very close to yourself. For me, in business and my personal life, there are some crossovers, like traveling, for instance. I consider myself as a traveler. I like to explore new places, and that's connected to business. I connect it to business. So for me, it's important not only to find a balance in work life, but also to try to find a combination in work life, because then you have best of both worlds. But when it comes to my character, I think everybody who's in entrepreneurship knows that sometimes you have to find a different version of yourself while doing business.
Yeah.
Because you can be very friendly, but if you're always very friendly in business,
Yeah.
people will take advantage of
I
you.
learned that the hard way.
Yeah, exactly. So it's finding balance, basically, I guess.
Okay. And then you mentioned travel, which is interesting because I want to make a little bridge to that. You've shared that travel brings you immense joy.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a particular trip that changed your perspective on life and business or business?
Yeah, many. But the most valuable trips I've made are to countries where to countries where there's much more inequality than we have in the Western countries. So what that learned me is that how lucky we are with the wealth we are experiencing here in our place. And I also experienced that in a young age. So that always stick to me, that we have to be grateful for the circumstances we are living in. Of course, we can have big things going wrong in your life, personal or business, and it's just as worse as for everybody else. But our basis is quite stable.
But was there any particular place that you visited where you had an aha moment, where you had a certain insight, or when you were there and you're like, wow, this really got to me?
I find it hard to mention one particular moment. But I traveled a lot to Asia, southeastern part of Asia, and there you have a lot of poor people living, totally different standards than what we used to here. And what stood to me the most is that people are still able to have a happy life and to give to other people. Actually, that was for me the most interesting insight, that even if people don't have anything, they're still
enjoying life.
And have a great ability to give to other people. Maybe I can mention one thing I visited the family in the Philippines. My great aunt was supporting them for like 15 years through a charitable organization, and I was traveling around in that area, and I told my great aunt, okay, I will visit this family. She never met them, only letters, phone calls. So I was traveling, and it took half a day to even come there with a motorcycle and many different types of transportation. So I went there in the middle of nowhere with a small shed in a agricultural environment, and these people were very happy, and also happy to show me around and bring me to the local school, and supply me with meals and drive me around the area. So that felt very good, because also I was not the person to help them. If I would be the sponsor, okay, then it's a different angle, but I was there just by myself. Yeah.
They still welcomed you with open arms.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. And how did you feel after you came back and you told your great grandmother about your experience?
Very positive. Because she also saw that it helped them. They were able to having a better life because of the support. But also the fact that they have a happy life, that was for her very important.
And you could verify it with your own two eyes.
Yeah, exactly. And that's also important.
Yeah. So, and something else. A little bit on a lighter note is that you have some hobbies. You like developing games with your brother.
Yes.
And you also like writing a novel, which you did during the pandemic. What role does creativity play in your personal happiness and entrepreneurial journey?
And a very important role. For me, it's the basis of entrepreneurship. That's that's the fun part for me. There are a lot of ways to make money or to be successful. I chose the way of creating new things with a bit of innovation as well. And I did that since I was very young. I was always organizing games and clubs and things. So that's something that makes me really happy. And gaming, particularly, and writing novels is something difficult. It's more difficult to make a business out of it than maybe other things, because many people are doing it because of the fact that it's fun to do. So I'm very happy that I can combine it with my work in the financial sector and some consultancy activities. But it's connected. People find it hard to understand. How can you connect a creative thing like writing or making games with a kind of boring thing like investing? For many people, it's a boring job. But for me, the financial sector is also more or less like a game. That's how I see it.
True.
You have to find your own strategy. You can win, you can lose. So that's what intrigues me about the financial market. It's a highly social game. You have to know what other people are thinking. There are many connections between gaming and investing. It keeps me sharp to also think about new games, to invent something new. And it helps that it's not always about return on investment. A game can also be just because people like to play it. That's another aspect of what I like in gaming.
Yeah.
You really make it for people to enjoy doing it.
I do see some correlation there because you said I really like data, but then you also have this creativity side, and people don't have to be black or white. People can have also complexity and layers, and you know it can be the same person as well, that on one side wants to be very structured, very data driven, very you know, to the point, and then on the other side with something else you want to also let go.
Yeah, completely true. I couldn't agree more. I have nothing to add to that.
Okay, yeah. And what hobbies do you have outside of work? And you know, you already mentioned some of that, but how do you see that in the future? Because you know, you're growing in your journey, and slowly what I see is that, you know, things blend together. Do you think one day you could bring a little bit more creativity and fun and games and also to the investment world?
Yeah, I believe so. Well, now, we going into the whole financial situation in the world, but I believe the last 15 years were more about following trends and what's the best way to put it? It was, well, in investing you have growth investments and value investing, and last 15 to 20, maybe even 20 years were more about growth.
Yeah.
And following trends. So technology was very important, played a very important role in the stock markets for the last 15 years. But there was also very other important development, I think, and that was the fact that more and more people are buying index products.
Yes.
And these index products are full of growth stocks. And that's the strange thing, because technology growth is usually and has a very innovative character. You know, if you talk about AI or blockchain before that, the themes are all very innovative, but the style in investing is quite passive, because you just follow the winners. You only want to take the winners. You buy the index.
Yeah.
So my kind of mission is always has been to look more at value for one thing. So which companies are already making money, are more stable. So that's about the stability. But also giving the opportunities to smaller companies to become bigger.
Yeah.
And that is becoming harder and harder. You know, everybody wants to find the new Tesla or the new Amazon. But there are fewer and fewer companies who grow from very small to very big. Now, if a company has a very good idea and a good team, they start with a valuation of a couple of billion, and they grow from there to maybe 100 billion or 200 billion.
Yeah.
But that's not what I mean. I mean a company who's starting maybe without money or with just a couple of clients, and then become as big as the big players right now. I think there should be a new movement into this direction, and also more value based.
Okay, and you've been organizing trips with partners and investors that combine learning, networking, and fun.
Yes.
What makes these trips so valuable, and what do you personally gain from them?
It combines a few of my passions. Traveling, for sure. Meeting new people, I find that very inspiring.
Okay.
And that's, if you travel with people, then it's very nice way to meet, actually
There's
get
no
to know
escape,
them.
right? You're
No,
in the same area.
Yeah, you have a dinner together, you're in the same hotel. So
Yeah.
for me, that's very inspiring. But also from a business perspective, it's a nice way to get to know new countries, new
Yeah.
areas, new places, because I'm organizing all these different business visits, company visits as well, or organizations in those countries. So it's very, educational as well, and it combines networking with traveling. So yeah, that's something I really like to do.
I think you're doing a great job because
Thanks.
you know you're doing business while traveling, while meeting people, while strengthening relationships, and all at the same time and having fun, right? Let's if you have a nice, alcohol and a dinner, and it's just organically you're getting to know each other.
Yeah.
That's a very nice way of doing business and building relationships.
Yeah, but it's also connected to the previous topic that we discussed, because one of the countries that I visit a lot now is Lithuania and the Baltic states. And that's exactly the point that I was making before, because in these countries you still find value. You find very innovative, good companies, but they're hardly recognized for it. They have a very low valuation. They don't have easy access to capital.
Yeah.
And that's, for me, is the sweet spot, because it's a good investment. They're innovative, they're future-proof.
Yeah.
And but they also you can invest into those companies for a reasonable valuation, at a reasonable valuation. So that's the type of investments I'm looking for.
Okay, and you've started over 10 companies since 2001. You've been quite busy, Mike.
Yes.
And you're still young, relatively, so I'm sure there's more to follow. But many with quite unique concepts. Where do your ideas typically come from, and how do you decide which ones are worth pursuing?
That has changed over time. When I started, when I was 18, then I started my first company. It was just about, that's a nice idea.
Yeah,
I like it.
I want a company.
I do it, yeah. I start a company, I build it, and then finding out that maybe there's not so much demand for it, or there are already competitors in the field. So I grew from very impulsive entrepreneur to a more analytical type of entrepreneur. So when I have a new idea now, and they come up at the most strange times, usually at night time, or when you're doing nothing. But I have every week I have a new idea, but now I tend to validate them more with am I the right person to do it? B, is there a market for it? Are people waiting for this idea? And 3, is it a good business model? Is it possible to make it a profitable business? So I have more things to consider.
Yeah. That's a good process, and for listeners building their careers that have not that not very far yet in their own process. What is one mistake you would encourage them to avoid based on your own experience?
There's so many mistakes you can make when you're in a business. Maybe it's the one that I mentioned, to really go after only your feeling of enthusiasm. Only follow your enthusiasm. Okay, that's something I think will work, and I think it will make a lot of money, without checking with others if they feel the same. That's probably also the easiest mistake to avoid, because everybody has people around them that can have another view on theirs.
Yeah.
And maybe prevent them from making a wrong decision.
Okay, and if you could go back and give your 30-year-old self one piece of advice, what would that be?
Wear sunscreen. No. That's a famous song. No, yeah. For me personally, it would be doing more research on the people you're doing business with.
Yeah.
Also about enthusiasm. Sometimes you meet somebody else and he's also very enthusiastic about the same topic. You think, wow, this is a great match.
Yeah.
Let's do business. And then you
Yeah.
start something and then later finding out that he has totally other intentions than you have. So that's, probably my advice would be maybe a bit more background check. Maybe some testing as well. There are different ways you can test people who are you talking with in a positive way, not testing.
Such as what kind of test? Would you
asking the right questions. That's a simple thing. Let them make a decision or write a business plan together. That's all. That's the kind of tests I mean.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that that advice you're giving yourself, because everybody's advice is personal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And also the next question is also a personal way of categorizing what you select to choose to say on that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say in a world right now we live in, everybody's chasing more and more. When is enough for you, for Mark? When do you say this is enough?
Yeah, I like that question because it's something that's in my mind a lot.
Yeah.
But it also helped because I traveled a lot to Asia, and I like the Buddhism, Buddhistic way of living, where enough is when you find your inner strength, and has nothing to do with material. I like that style, but it's not realistic in the life that we are living, and in business, numbers and material matter. So for me, it's enough if I can do the nice things with my friends, with my family, if I'm able to travel. And it's a bit about independency. I like to be independent, and that comes with a certain amount of income usually. So money is a factor into that. You can find independence in yourself, but usually it's also about becoming free. It's hard to put a number on
Do you have
that.
a number?
But no, personally, I didn't come up with with a number yet. But I really believe in this theory that says up to 70, 80k income, your level of happiness increase very fast, and after that it's very slowly increasing up to millions. It doesn't matter. So I think the sweet spot is actually maybe somewhere around that number, and then in combination with finding happiness into the smaller things in life actually.
Yeah, I like that. That's well said, and I've seen that research as well, and I agree with that. It's when you go through certain milestones and you feel a lot, and then later, I've not reached millions of earnings, but I can imagine that the milestones feel different than those initial jumps that you make.
Yeah. And I think even more important is stop comparing yourself with others. That's maybe advice I would give myself as well when I was younger, but also to other people. That's the biggest fault you can make, because if you compare yourself to others, it's never enough. There's always somebody who's richer and more successful and more good looking.
Yeah.
It will not help you.
It will never stop.
If you compare. So stick to yourself. Find your own success lines and your own targets. That's as important as the actual achievements that you make.
Okay, so work in progress to find what is enough in the end.
Yes, yes.
But a combination of financial freedom and an inner fulfillment is a very nice way to define it. And what is a belief you hold about business or investing that most people might disagree with you, but you have found to be true in your own life?
Also a very good question. Yeah, my first thought would be the same as we just discussed, that people tend to measure success in a relative way.
Money.
Money or numbers. Influencing worlds, you're a bigger influencer if you have more followers.
Okay.
I don't look at it this way. If I see somebody with 2 million followers on Instagram or LinkedIn or whatever, I don't automatically think, okay, this is a very successful person. Because I know there are many ways to become a person with 2 million followers. So I rather look at the content that this person is making, and also how authentic this person is himself or herself. Because if you only chase followers, you become very commercial. And if you have an authentic message and still reach a large audience, that's, for me, that has much more respect. So if you put it down into one term, I would say thinking out of the box. That's the importance of thinking out of the box. That's something I sometimes disagree with other people on. And then there's other themes that are maybe a bit more political loaded.
Okay, well, throw them out.
Yeah, it's nice to discuss them as well, but I believe in the importance of not only chasing your own success, but do it in a way that also profits your environment.
Yeah.
Your, most important, your own family.
Yeah.
But then also your friends.
Yeah.
Your spouse. I think most people will agree if you tell it that way. You notice your environment, right? Everybody will say that's very important. But in contrary, I see in practice that most people are just trying to pursue their own dreams and not think about how will it fit into my environment.
Yeah, people can be quite selfish sometimes.
Yeah.
And they find that later the hard way.
Yeah, that's something I really learned from doing business, especially in the financial sector. You will find very successful people who are stone hard, well, very business oriented. They know everybody. They can negotiate everything with everybody. But usually it's not the most nice people, and it's also people who are in conflict all the time. And I see how that doesn't contribute to your happiness. You know, then you can be very successful. You can have millions on your bank account, but you're constantly in a conflict situation with somebody else. Because there's some ego concerned in it, and it's some usually person want to win. You know, they always try to maximize things, but if you always try to win, it might be that your direct environment is losing, and that's not good for yourself. That's something I strongly believe. When people around you are losing, you get jealousy, you get conflicts, legal cases. It doesn't help you eventually in becoming a better person, right?
Yes, it's better to have a little bit less, but your surrounding is happy, and they're also looking up to you, and they see you as a role model, and you're also going to bed feeling good about yourself, and people going to bed feeling good about you.
Exactly. Yeah.
And Mark, I think We're coming to one of the last topics, and I think you will like this one a lot.
All right.
First of all, congratulations on your role in building 8 investments. It's your latest company.
Thank you.
You managed to get 8 founders to personally guarantee €100,000 each for bondholders.
Mm-hmm.
And there's an offering for 6% and 8% for annual coupons.
Yeah.
That's a remarkable structure.
Thank you.
Can you walk us through how you brought these founders together to commit personally? And what does it say about the trust and alignment you have built?
I'm very happy to tell about it because it's the result of being in the investment industry for more than 20 years. So I consider this one of my most conservative ideas. It's new in a way, guaranteeing with your own money and the structure of extreme diversification. That's really one of the important topics. So I believe it's innovative. It adds something to the finance industry, but it's based on very conservative aspects, and one of them is doing business with the people you are trusting. That's an important topic. This was something I could do my own, or find 1 or 2 business partners like I did before always, and then build something, have a large piece of the cake. And this time I thought, no, I try to find more people around, getting more expertise, more diversification as well in a founder perspective. I'm not relying on one business partner. That was one of the first questions. So diversify in the partnership, bring in a lot of knowledge with people I already know, and I was able to verify that they have the same intentions. That's one very important aspect. But also the investments are quite conservative. They are based on my belief that we are in a very precarious geopolitical situation, and that there are still a lot of major tail risks that will lead to more volatility in the near future. And I want to make sure that my own money and the money of the investors into 8 investments are fully secured by many different types of collateral securities, to make sure that it's resilient against the big things that can still happen in the world. I won't say everything to happen, because strange things happen. I also experienced that. You cannot predict everything, but I strongly believe it's more resilient than the other types of investments that are out there, but also the types of investments I did before for my clients.
And how does 8 investments approach of personal guaranteeing and diversified lending, such as green agriculture loans, CO2 reductions, P2P lending, asset-backed lending? How does that differentiate from other investment opportunities out there?
If you state them one by one, it's something that's already out there, and you can do it. You can make nice returns. I believe I did myself for many years, and also the other founders have a lot of experience with that. So in all the single categories, it's not unique. The uniqueness comes in combining it in different countries, not relying only on the Netherlands or another region. Diversify geographically into many different sectors, almost every sector that you can think of. Adding some consumer part, the consumer lending part into it, because that for me has proven to be a very resilient, low risk type of asset class that is still quite unknown, and many larger investment companies don't have experience in this field, because it's typically have been a banking product. Consumer loans, that's something that banks have been doing for hundreds of years successfully, and now it opens up to retail investors, and I'm very happy to include that into our mix of different type of loans.
And how did you get this idea about 8 investment? When did it was like, oh,
It was actually in Dubai
Okay.
when I brought a nice group of people
Yeah.
to Dubai 2 years ago almost, and yeah, with the goals to network, to have a fun time, to experience maybe local business
Was that
opportunities.
November 2023?
Yes, it was. Yeah, correct.
Yeah, I was traveling that time. I
Yeah,
remember.
we were supposed to meet
we were supposed to meet, but
back
I was,
then. Yeah, but
yeah,
that was
yeah,
the seed was planted because all the investments that came into that trip were about 12 people. They were all very like-minded in the way of diversification, look into other geographies, risk averse also
yeah,
back in that time. So yeah, that really brought us together literally. And then 2 months later, I came up with the idea. Okay, maybe we have to put our money together and invest together. Not in Dubai. That was our decision.
yeah.
But
But
in
by
other,
being in Dubai, you also realized that you did not want to what you don't want. It brings you closer to what you want.
of course, yeah, that's it's also deduction of other opportunities for sure.
Yeah. And what do you see as the biggest opportunity and challenges for Eight investment in the next 3 years? And how can retail investors think about risk and returns in this structure?
Yeah, the biggest challenge will be to convince people from this new way of investing without shouting it from the rooftops, because that's not my style. I want to build a track record first, and then maybe not shout it from rooftops, but spread the word. And now we are still in the phase of building a track record, but that goes beyond the foundation of Eight investments. We already, the single investments we are doing, we have been doing that for 5 or 10 years or more. So the track record is there, but the combined track record into this structure, that will be the challenge, mainly in being patient and showing people in time that it works. Because we chose as founders not to have a very big marketing budget. Our profit comes from the extra profit that we're making on the investments. It's no management fees, no performance fees. No, we are, our profit is into our own investments. So we deliberately choose to have a small marketing budget. So now the big challenge is to spread the word and tell this is a good thing without the marketing budget that most of our competitors have. Yeah.
And what is next for Mark? You have already founded 10 companies. Some were very successful, some led you to new ones. What is next for the people watching when they Google your name in 5 or 10 years?
I have no idea, Simon. I'm very happy if I continue what I'm doing now. I'll be still making mistakes and companies will fail. I know that for sure. But I'm, I like to invent new things, new strategies, new products. So I have no idea what the next one will be. But one of my goals for sure is that I'm totally free to choose the next projects. That's my main goal. Not to go into one direction or achieve something in a certain type of business, but more being free to make my own choice. I still would like to publicize some nice games. I still have many game ideas, and that's something you can do if you have a budget and some good developers for games. That's something you can do. You can try it if it's your own money. Let's let's do it. Let's see if it works. That's something I would like to keep doing. Even if I know that 9 out of 10 will probably fail, but I still would like to do it. Yeah.
Well, keep doing what you're doing, Mark, and thank you for your openness.
Thank you.
It was a lovely chat with you, and thank you so much.
Thanks.
For the people watching, goodbye.